We are live. Yes, we are. Good morning, Break of Dawn, and good morning. You know what? Hold on, everybody. Let me grab this thing because this thing is too low. And I can't sit any higher. So I'm a little stuck right now. Let me grab this here. My computer's a little too low, and I can't go any lower on the seat. My desk. I need one of those desks that you can adjust. One of those desks that you can adjust. Bam, baby. Just like that. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are live. Yes, we are. Good morning, hon. Good morning. Yes, indeed. It is a day today. A day today. Let me move some of this stuff out the way. Okay, hold on. Wait. I gotta sit this up here on the flat. It's not flat. Is that okay? Let me see what I'm doing here. Let me see, says the blind man. Let me see. Ooh, Charlie. Let me see, says the blind man. Let me see. Okay, hold on, wait. I got something here that I need to take through this little hole. Oh, can't get through the hole. Oh, okay. Well, how that's supposed to be? Ah, okay. Hold on, y'all. Here, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Wait a minute. Bam. And then I can come up a little bit. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This works perfectly fine. This works really fine. Hold on. I got to get one more thing. This is a little too crooked right here. There's something right here. This is my papers. Okay, hold on. Let me do this. Okay. Bam. Is it good? Is it good? Is it good? Good, good. Is it good? Is it good in the neighborhood? Yep, it certainly is. So I am positioned properly now. Hey, Rochelle. Hey, Divine. Hey, Jeannie. I'm only 15 minutes today. Oh, no problem, Jeannie. Thank you, though. Share, everybody. Hit those thumbs up for me, would you please? Also, good morning, everybody. It is another day in the neighborhood. Let's rejoice and be glad that the Lord did and the Lord is good, because we are living today to be able to all join together right here on these platforms. Woo! What a blessing. What a blessing. Can't get it no better. So, happy Tuesday, February the 6th. Today is Trending This Tuesday Job Search and Resumes. We will be having a guest on by the name of Matt Warzel. And Matt is a professional in his field. He has his own business. As a matter of fact, Matt just prepared my resume for me. And so hold on, y'all. He just prepared my resume for me. And so not only did he prepare my resume, he also built a standard cover letter, which I can switch out at any given time for any position that I may be applying for. But it is precise. It's not precise. It is basically centered around teaching, training, and things of that nature. So because you guys know, I love doing that. Be honest with you, I love standing in front of the classroom and training. So Matt Warzel will be joining us in a few minutes, in about 10 minutes. And in the meantime, in between time, but let's get this party started. So, got questions already. Yes. Jeannie says, does he say you need an updated LinkedIn profile too? Most definitely. So he went in and did my LinkedIn. Oh, as a matter of fact, he didn't do my LinkedIn yet. He has to do my LinkedIn. Oh, shit. Come to think of it, let me see something. That is what we got to do. Oh, my. Let me see something. Let me see something. Okay. Uh, okay, I had to post something. So hold on one second. I need to see my profile. Let's see something. Okay, hold on. I don't want to do that right now. So, I am looking at my profile right now, and I am seeing myself also on LinkedIn right now. 184 open to. Let's see that this is open to where it is. Okay, okay. That is one thing that I'm going to ask him when he comes on here. Jeannie, thanks for putting that out there. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Wellness. Good morning to Alma Mama. Good morning, Jeannie, Divine, Rochelle. Good morning. Good morning. It's a lot more people out there. I can't see you guys, but good morning. And thanks for joining me this morning. Today is February the 6th. February the 6th. We do have a guest coming on this morning. Let me do shoo ba ba scoopy doopy doo. Shoo ba ba. So today is the 6th of February. Today is National Chopsticks Day. So go out and get you some Chinese food. Or you ain't even got to get no Chinese food. Just get you some chopsticks and learn how to use them. Go to YouTube. It show you how to use chopsticks because that's how I learned. And in that order, today is also Safer Internet Day. Safer Internet Day US changes annually. It changes annually though. But today is Safer Internet Day. So it's safe to use the internet. Today is also National Frozen Yogurt Day. Go get you some frozen yogurt. Oh, baby. Today is also National Lame Duck Day. Now, National Lame Duck, y'all. The term lame duck originated as a description of stockbrokers in 1700s England who could not pay off their debts. The name later carried over to those in business who would continue to do business while being bankrupt. Oh, wow. In politics, a lame duck is a person currently holding a political office who has either lost a re-election bid. That sounds like Trump, don't it? Chosen to not to seek another term, been prevented from running for re-election due to a term limit, or holds a position that has been eliminated. Wow. So lame duck applies to everybody, to everything. Now I'll tell y'all something else too. You know, at one time we used to say, oh, he a lame duck. Like he a sitting duck, you know what I'm saying? Like he lame, like he like goofy. That's what lame was. When I was coming up, when we would use the word, oh, you lame. Lame was you goofy. Oh, you so lame. Meaning, oh, you so like far removed, unattached. That's what we used to use the word lame for. So it's being used for a host of other things now. My God. And well, not now, but then too. Oh my goodness. It has just been used for a host of things. Everybody, would you all please hit those thumbs up for me, please? Um, Let me go in here and hit my own thumbs up. Look. Go ahead and hit my own thumbs up. Listen, 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 listen. Yes, hit them thumbs up for a sister. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you sharing it and all the rest of that good stuff. So let me see here. Bam, 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 bam. Hold on. Boopity doop boop boop. All right, here we go, Joe. Here we go. Okay. All right, all right, all right, all right. So, yeah, we're looking for, and Matt is in the green room right now. So, hey, Jonathan and Delma, hey, Karen, good morning. So, we are being graced with Matt Warzel, who is a professional in his field. As a matter of fact, let me pull this thing up right here. Right now, being all right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Says the blind man. Let's see. Wee. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Said the blind man. Let me see. Okay. So everybody, let's bring Matt Warzel to the screen. Hey, Jonathan Adelma. Hey, I'm a mama. Good morning. So right now, today being February 6th, Tuesday, we are talking what's trending right now is job search, resumes. It's all kinds of things trending right now. But job search is definitely trending right now. And also job loss is trending too, by the way. I just thought I'd throw that one in there too. Hey, Daybreak, good morning. We're getting ready to introduce Matthew Warzel, CPRW, president of MJW Careers, LLC, where they do recruiting, resume writing, outplacement solutions, career coaching, you name it, they do it. Let's bring Matt to the stage. Hey, Matt, good morning.
Hi, Nyla. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on today. Let's see if I can get there. We go. There you go.
You look good. You're fine. You're in the camera. You are definitely in the camera. That's a wonderful thing.
Great.
Matt, give us a little intro as to who you are, what you do, and what you offer.
Yeah, thank you for that. So I am a career coach, resume writer. I was actually a recruiter turned career coach, resume writer. So I cut my teeth back in HR doing recruiting early 2000s and kind of stumbled into it like most do. And well, it kind of went from staffing into corporate HR, which was a little more advantageous for my situation. It's an emotional roller coaster recruiting, so having the advantages of going from working around the clock to internal 8 to 5. My hiring managers are my customers now. It's definitely night and day. So I actually liked it more. But I kind of wiggled through contracts and wound up working for Johnson Controls in the late 2000s in California. They relocated me. I recruited there for a few years, and then I got laid off from the '08 meltdown. I got laid off early '09, and pretty much didn't know what to do. And so I thought, well, I've been doing resumes, writing resumes, preparing my candidates. So maybe I'll try to do that. So I was, $50 resume or something way back when, and started getting people actually paying me to do it. And I go, wow, this could be something here. So started taking it a little bit more serious as a business and instead of a freelance type thing. And 15 years later, here we are.
Oh, wow. It's been 15 years you've been in the business, huh?
This is,
Well,
yep.
I know I was referred to Matt through a good friend of mine by the name of Lanita Cook, who also is a good friend of Michael's. And I met Lanita at Michael's Christmas party a few years back. And we hit it off instantly. And she's just an awesome person, phenomenal lady. And I just loved her spirit. And she's just so cool. And she's very pretty, everybody. She's a model, by the way. She models. She's a very pretty young woman. And so knew I had been out of work for a while. I had mentioned to her I had been out of work for a while. I said, "Oh wow, I've been looking for work for over a year now." And she's like, "What?" I said, I've applied to quite a few jobs, over 100 jobs. Okay, to be honest with you, it's been 400 and something jobs because, career builders, they shoot everything to like a mass amount of different companies that have inquired about employment with
Mhm.
their clients and stuff. And so they send these mass resumes and applications to these companies. So it's like over 400 and something jobs. I've gotten
Mhm.
five interviews. But one of the interviews was with my old employer because I inquired about work. And
Sure.
so but it's sales. I was in door-to-door sales for 15 years, and it's sales. And so I'm going back into it because I went to Texas just a while ago, just recently, to train again. And so, I didn't need a lot. I was intending on being there for a couple of months, but I ended up having an issue, and I had to get back home because I didn't know my insurance wouldn't cover me out there, and I wasn't getting ready to get in debt paying a hotel fee,
Yeah.
laying up in a hotel, and I can't work. So,
Yeah. Right.
right. So
Oh,
but otherwise, Matt, it's been a trying time. It's really been a trying time. Um, what what put you in a position? What was the outcome, I say, of those who had started using your services, or using your resume rebuild services? What was their outcome afterwards, after the resume had been rebuilt and then they were still applying to jobs and they were using that resume? What was the outcome? What would you say your outcome percentage was?
so for me, it's hard to gauge a percentage only because I would compare it to, and this is one of those answers when people go, what's your placement rate, or like what's your success rate?" I'm like, well, I go, we're not the Apple iPhone that you get and you're like, oh, you got to show your friends all the features or something cool that you can hold and have fun with. We are the lawyer, we are the marketer, we are the we're the people, we're the dentist. We're there to help in a transition, whether it's like dental people help when you have something hurting your teeth, and then they do a real good job, and you're like, okay, maybe tell a friend or two, oh, my teeth feel better. You don't even mention the dentist really. And so, to get somebody, and I'm sorry about that, I have to turn off my alarm there. To get someone to come back to me with success stories is it's pulling teeth, pun intended. So I say to anyone comes back to me and lets me know their success, I am just floored. And that's why I have a lot of testimonials, because people do remember me once in a while, but it's hard to track them down. And I have this email that goes out asking, hey, how's everybody doing? You get some that'll respond off of that, but it's tricky. So, but I will say this, that it is night and day from when you're getting your original resume, you're DIYing at home, trying to look up gurus and all this stuff, versus, just having someone like myself do it, and who's, been through the ringer and tried all sorts of stuff to get to this kind of nice, um, I don't want to say science, but it's like there's a science behind this kind of writing, right? So,
Mhm.
and
It
there
is.
is a method to that madness. So, yeah, I would
It
say,
is.
yeah,
It
yeah.
really is.
I mean, and because I mean, I've done it for people that are copywriters. I've done it for
Wow.
folks that are technical writers and people that use words day to day
Yeah.
as part of their job, right? Having to create words. So it
Wow.
was it's just a different type of style. So when I would say success wise, though, it's the best when you hear that people got traction or got the interview, got the job. I've had people crying to me before, literally, because whether it's from frustration and we're at the prelims, or hey, I like the one instance I had this girl that I got her a job that was able to provide for her husband who was in military. He was transitioning out, and so it was a real big to do for them as a family unit, and I was able to help with that, getting her set up. So, and she was, sent me a gift and that kind of stuff. So you see that other end of it too, right? So
Mhm.
um it's really comes down to how you manipulate the words, how you set up the psychology of like the hiring managers looking at your resume. How can you get them to get excited, to get that frenzy going, that they want to bring you in for an interview? And it just Well, I won't keep rambling. If we want to talk about specifics of resume stuff like tips, I'll get to that point.
Yes, we're going to get to that point soon. Definitely,
Yeah.
we're going to come around to that one. So I got a question. One of my viewers, a good friend of mine, Jeannie's, asked, "Does he say you need an updated LinkedIn profile too?" And I did tell her, yeah. And we never did mine.
Oh, well, I gotta email you next steps for that.
Right. We never did
Mark
mine.
that down.
You told me about it, but I couldn't remember my darn password.
That's what it is. I was gonna say I need the password, unless you want me to send you a document, but I'll email you right now on the fly. Look at this. This is
I kid you not. I was like, "Oh, Jeannie, thanks for saying that," because he was supposed to do mine too.
yeah. I know. I'm like, wait, didn't I send you that next step? Okay, no, that's okay. I got it there now. Now you have it. But yeah, the
So
LinkedIn.
everybody, I gotta tell you guys, the great thing about now, Lanita blessed me with this gift. And I'm really grateful for her because these things can cost out all through the roof for having your resume redone by a professional. Not only that, he did the resume, a cover letter, and he's cleaning up the LinkedIn,
Mhm,
preparing, aligning my LinkedIn with, of course, my resume.
mhm.
Right? Is that?
Yep.
I would assume that's what you're doing. You're making it
Yep.
um how can I say it, correspond to
Mhm.
my resume, which makes sense because then when people go to look at your stuff, one of the things that they normally do is read your resume or go look at your link to see if you got a LinkedIn page
Yep.
without you even telling them. And I'm telling you, I know this for a fact because I was in operations management. So that was one of the things also with onboarding I had to do. And I know that people go and look at because I did it.
Yeah.
As a matter, I did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look, and let me see if they on social media. Let me see what type of person this is. Okay. And Lanita
Yeah.
spoke so highly of you because one of the things about Lanita, and she did, and I'll share this, and I don't know, I hope I'm not sharing something that I shouldn't, but she didn't say I couldn't, but she didn't say either way. But
Yeah.
one of the things that I know for a fact that Lanita was in transition herself with her career. And the company was downsizing. I mean, significantly downsizing to the
Yep.
point that her job was being done away with, that she consulted with you and then had the work done by you, her resume and all built by you as well, which allowed her an interview and to stay in the company that she's with now. And that was one of the things she told me about you. And I saw the resume. I like the new style of it and everything. I saw how you use the words that would possibly be what AI is searching for,
Mhm.
because there's so much going on with AI now. And
Mhm.
I know also that you can do resumes on AI, but the thing is, do you know what in today's time, the here and now is basically what people want. So
Mhm.
when we're looking for, yes, Jeannie, yes, that's yes to your answer. It
Mhm.
definitely is. So when we're looking at dealing with resume building, job searching, and all that, when you're dealing with resumes, Matt, what would you say is the do's and don'ts are of resume writing?
Excellent. Thank you for that. Yeah, I would say so. The From a macro level, I find most people come to me with a catch-all, generalized resume. And and in back when I was recruiting in the 2000s, that was acceptable because we didn't have LinkedIn and we were still having people come to our office with resumes in a briefcase. And that was the old one page thing from back then because essentially we didn't want staples. And so we're like, hey, put it on one piece of paper. So I don't staples. So the old how long should my resume be is it's like why do we still turn back the clock is because of farmers from the 1800s that we don't even do any, like, so we're still living by this old archaic principle because of that's why. But nowadays you can have 2 pages because we're scrolling. So as long as I'm not getting bored, you can have 15 pages if I can't put my eyes, keep my eyes away from it. I wouldn't do that though. But so essentially, I would say first is don't have a catch-all. Don't have this summary that starts off, I'm a product manager with 20 years in tech and financial space, and I can do, these 5 skills. And that stuff's boring. And it's very much it's archaic. It's the old way of doing things. So now the new way is it's a sales sheet. It's not what have you done in the last 10 years. It's what have you done in the last 3 years. I mean, literally, you want the meat of your resume to focus only on what you can do that is relating to the job you want to be in. I don't care if you went to school for 4-year degree and it was the hardest thing in your life. If it was a physical science degree and now you're trying to be in marketing, you still have the degree on your resume. That's probably a bad example, but essentially you're going to have to learn when to cut bait, right? So maybe a certification that's archaic or a piece of software that you learn so much work to learn on. Well, it's dead, right? So move on. So I feel a lot of people are so married to some of their successes and you're like, this is not going to work in this new circle of that you're trying to be a part of. So less general, riches are in the niches. If there's 3 of you, if you want to be a production supervisor, a controls engineer, and an English teacher, don't blend that. Just those 3 resumes. Just mind your lanes when you're job hunting. So that's the biggest don't generalize. The way I write my resumes, I'll just kind of tell you, I think it's the easiest, best way to summarize it is, so I'll put mine in content in 3 buckets. The first bucket's what's relatable. So I'm going to go and if it's a quality engineer, I'm going to go and find some quality engineering jobs that they like. And I'm going to find the main tasks and responsibilities that are listed and a lot of them should be comparable. And then I'm going to reverse engineer those onto the resume, but I'm also going to put a little onus on it, right? So I'm not just going to say, yeah, I can handle, doing regulatory type stuff. No, I'm going to show them I've done it once. So find a proof point and make it relate to that task. And now you do that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Now you're hitting the notes of all these job descriptors on the resume, giving them an onus. And then what you want to do is keep it less is more. You want that sentence to essentially highlight your cause and effect of what that win was as it relates to that task and use the least amount of words as possible. I'm not going to mucky it with a bunch of acronyms and a bunch of technical things in the middle. That's not for that part of the resume. That part of the resume, this is a business minded. If you're an English teacher, you are a salesperson while you're job hunting and while you're presenting your credentials. You're not an English teacher right now. You're a salesperson selling yourself. So I'm going to use business minded language, even if it's an English teaching resume. The business minded language now, I tell them it's like you're a chef. You cook the meal, you bring it out, the hiring managers eat it up, they love it, they bring you in to talk about the ingredients. Now it's kiss the chef time. Now we can get mucky it up now we can talk about that middle stuff that would have muckied it up. Because me as a savvy job hunter realize I'm dealing with recruiters that don't know what quality engineers are. They just know how to recruit them. Sourcers that probably don't even have a degree that are, again, hourly, and they're just there to match words. The robots, the applicant tracking systems, which is another game. We could talk about that in a minute, but it's nothing to fear. It's really not that bad. But we still got to play that little bit of a nuance there. And then the hiring managers. Well, we're so always worried about hiring managers, we forget there's these hierarchies. To get to the hiring managers, you got to deal with these things first, these people. So cater to everybody. And that's the first big thing. What's relatable? Second's what's operational. So productivity, efficiency, money, costs, bottlenecks, whatever. You know your world. You know what you're responsible for. Everyone has a KPI. Start to learn yours. If you don't know what they are, I'm sure there's performance reports flying around the office you can figure out, or go to your job description and then use what you have as part of your responsibilities, roles, responsibilities, and try to think of what does that most impact? Does that impact something sort of time, monetary, whatever, but we need to know proof points. We need some sprinkling some numbers. Having all words is boring on a resume. And plus it's quicker, right? To get to the percentage, just easier to conceptualize. And then third bucket is anything unique. So high profile clients, speeches, awards, media appearances. You were a track athlete in the Olympics, things that are like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm all for it. I don't need to know that you like fishing, but if you were a professional fisher person and won a national thing, I can find a little spot for that on the resume somewhere. Little neat things, right? Well, rounds out your candidacy. 3 buckets. Now I take all that information and I'm going to build your Lego set. I say everyone's a different Lego set. We all have the same colors and sizes and whatever, but we're built differently. Now I'm going to build that thing with the least amount of words as possible, because I'm worried about losing the good juice if I'm rambling too much about other stuff. And I'm worried that the busy-minded hiring manager who doesn't want to be there on a Thursday at 4 p.m. looking at resumes with the recruiter that they hate. And I don't want to be there with as a recruiter dealing with this hiring manager who's a curmudgeon who won't ever look at resumes because we're so busy that I need them to understand that this candidate works. And how do I do that? Using the least amount of words as possible and putting them in the box of what looks like a good candidate, right? So control your narrative. Don't put together a jack of all trades resume and hope the hiring managers figure it out. That's what most people do. I'm a good fit for that. Why didn't they call me? I do all 5 of those things because you had them all scattered everywhere. No one knew the hell they were talking about. It was bad messaging. Right. So help them help you, help those busy people stop and want to pick up the phone and call you to bring in for an interview. Control your narrative. Here's who I want to be. My perception is this. I don't want you to think I'm a teacher anymore. I want you to think I'm an early career cybersecurity specialist because that's what I want to get into. So I'm going to work really hard to message me as a cybersecurity person, not this 20-year-old teacher I've been. And that's the tricky part. That's where you hire people like me to connect dots. And
I was just getting ready to say that.
You do it a long time.
A little complicated.
I mean, and then they balk at like $100, it's like, a few $100 for this or that. It's like, yeah, but people go and open their lawns every spring, pay $1,000 for people to haul out dead trees. And they're like, yeah, whatever. And then it's like, wait a minute, for a piece of paper, a resume? It's like, well, you're not seeing that the value there. Like you could use this to leverage thousands of dollars at the table. It all starts with how you email them, how you cover letter them when you're applying, how you present the resume, how you talk at the interview. Every aspect is judged to the point where if you're at the negotiation table and you've done the due diligence of being a walk softly, carry a big stick mentality, only talking when spoken to and only saying valuable things, you can leverage that during a negotiation. Hey, you see how good I am. I want 10 grand more. Okay. Well, then there's the ROI, right? You're able to position yourself more money because you started off with the right content in your job hunting toolbox, if you will.
Yes. That's a wonderful thing. But you know what? And a lot of people don't realize about those points, significant points that you have to hit or focus on.
Yeah.
And deliberately mold and shape your verbiage to sound like you are that person in that position already with that experience. You really do. You really have to hit it. Even if you're taking something as a teacher position, applying now you're doing a career change. That's basically what he was just talking about for those of us who are in career changes. I've been career changing as much as wherever the pay was, I career changed.
Yeah, sure. No, good.
Okay. That's why if you saw my resume, I had a lot of different positions of different titles because I'm experienced in all of that. And my thing is to make me shine with all of that skill set, push to get, enfolding, envelop in, all of that skill set that I had. Sales. You selling yourself anyway when you're applying for a job. So I got years of sales experience. I got years of training experience. You're
adapting. That's great though. You got to adapt. The people who give up on evolving, they're the ones are at the job hating it. It's toxic. And it's like you're gifting strangers 40 hours a week away from your kids or your family. It's like this should be much more invested heavily by taking action of your career, not relying on the ether to take care of you. Oh, here was the jobs around on February 6th at 9:30 in the morning. So I applied to them, and here's the one I got. And 2 years later, you're heading against the wall, right? You're just you're heading against the wall because it's like, well, you did that to yourself because you relied on availability versus just taking a breath and thinking and internalizing. I say, what's the one I internalize, visualize, realize, right? So internalizing yourself, what the heck you're good at, what's pragmatic, what's a good, if you're going to go be a pro baseball player, well, just know that the hoops to get there is going to be this long. And it's not probably the most pragmatic thing when you're 65 years old. But
so it's another thought.
So we got to keep the sense too, right? If I'd love to be a pro golfer, but it's not pragmatic. So what's my options here? So think of what's the pragmatic options that's going to cross off our check boxes because we're needy as job hunters. I want this much money, this location, working for this company, doing this kind of stuff with this kind of a commute. I want to be at home and I want these benefits. And they don't realize that us recruiters are like, well, and that's why you usually shoot yourself in the foot when you ask for benefits on the first interview. Don't do that. They will tell you when the time comes. But anyway,
Let's say don't ask for
no.
benefits. What are your benefits? What do you
Yeah.
like on the interview? Yeah, that's one of the things I normally that's the least care is basically what the pay is. What the
Yeah.
that's
Just wait.
basically what I want to know.
And then
What's the expectation of me in the position? What
Mhm.
do you expect out of me? What is it that you really are expecting out of me after so many days, so many weeks, few months in
Like,
the position?
yep.
What do you expect? Is there a certain milestone? Are there milestones that you expect I should be hitting?
Yep.
And those are good avid questions, right?
Oh, I love those closing questions. Always, you always have them talk about themselves as much as you can, because hiring managers love talking about themselves or the company. So if you can kind of lean them towards, hey, how do you see your missions in action during this role? They love talking about their missions and their values or whatever you want to call them on their website. Everyone has the principal statements or the mission statement, the value. Look at those, because hiring managers are loving asking questions that revolve around that. It's a culture thing, but as far as like, can you fit our culture here at this company? But yeah, essentially, that's where, if you can control your own, and we don't all have that luxury. Some people just have to have this, they got 5 kids and etc. So that might require a little bit more sacrifice and a little bit more being unique and outside the box in a transition. It's not going to be so cut and dry. Then someone has time to do this stuff. So if you're doing it, well, then fine. On the weekends, instead of doing this, go and do something towards that next you that you want to be, whether it's starting to upskill or whatever. But yeah, if you internalize, figure out exactly what your use is, because remember, that's the name of the game. I'm trying to find someone who wants to pay me to do some work. And that's all this whole racket is, right? We're just trying to find someone that goes, I think you're worth some money to do this stuff for me, because I have it, make my life easier if I hired you to do it. So internalize what that looks like, of how you can offer that value, right? And then visualize what's the next steps to actually do it. What's the part of getting from A to Z? And that's where you can have people like me come in, career coaches, because we can kind of macro level see how this game's played and what you might need to do to navigate 6-8 weeks, right? Average job hunts are 2 to 9 months, just so you know. So you can be on a bench for 9 months if you do it on your own. Over that, I mean, I've seen people over years, right? But then realizing it, right? So internalize, visualize, realizing is the part where it's exciting, because now you're actually doing it, and you have your map, and you're not so daunted or overwhelmed by the fact of, what am I going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Like coming in as like a blank canvas every week for job hunting, it stinks. It's hard, it gets overwhelming, and all you're stuck with then is Indeed.com. We call it spraying and praying, and you're a victim to, again, the circumstance. Here we go. I hope that recruiter sees my resume, and it's like, well, some people do get hired that way, job boards. I'm not knocking them. It's just, it should be this little part of your job hunting journey. You should have all these other things going on too.
Right, right. So, if people were interested in having your services, how would they reach you?
Oh, thank you. I always love the plugs. You could go to jobstickers.com. It's like pot stickers, our favorite food, but job stickers.
Okay.
And that link trees to my world. So my blog and my books and my services and my LinkedIn. And my LinkedIn, if you want to come follow me, you can look up my name, or MJW Careers is my handle on LinkedIn. I just became a top voice last week, or 2 weeks ago.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. 8 years it's taken me. That was, and I have schmoozed with the best of them with the LinkedIn headquarters. So I've been working all the angles on social with the people that matter over there. And I think it's finally paying off.
Oh, you have to. So what is it that you had to do with LinkedIn?
So essentially, for a top voice, they pick it. I guess there's only 300 of us out of the 3 billion people on LinkedIn or whatever it is. So we had our powwow, and I was pretty floored by how it is an honor, really. But essentially, they pick people that are curating content consistently that is unique and like singular to them, in different like areas of the world, right? So like people that might talk about economics. Maybe they have a top voice for economics, right?
Okay.
I'm the top voice for career coaches, resume writers, one of them.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, and thank you. And so essentially I had networked with the writers, all the writers, every single career coach or every single career focused writer on LinkedIn, built up relationships with all of them, and had given advice to, let's call a handful of them when they come to me going, hey, can you comment on this article? So I've gotten featured on LinkedIn. I mean, I remember the first couple, I was like, whoa, I finally got in there, get hired or newsletter type stuff. And then now I'm at like number 40 something. And so that I think was helping. But then I also use some of the other social media places like TikTok and Instagram.
Right.
And I message these people once in a while with stuff, or I'll comment on stuff constantly just to show them that, like, I'm not just on LinkedIn sandbox. I'll also be over here playing with them. So a little bit of that.
Oh, Matt, would it be MJ Careers LLC? Would it be Warzel at MJWcareers.com?
That would be just fine. Yep, you can use
Okay,
that in my
and
personal or professional
that's
email.
one. And then what? Wait, and then what is the other one you said?
Job stickers.
Job
JOB.
stickers.
Yep. It's my little gimmick. I even made a little pot sticker logo guy, a little brand, so you can see him running around my content once in a while.
Jobstickers.com.
That's correct. Yep.
Awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
so let me put this here and let me save this and put this on the screen. This is where you guys can find Matt, right, at Warzel at MJWcareers.com or jobstickers.com.
Thank you.
JOBSTICKERS.com. Matt,
Yes.
one quick question before we close out. LinkedIn, how important is it to maintain, or to, even if you don't have one, or to get a LinkedIn page and maintain it and keep it updated? How important is that, especially in a person that's doing, like, I've been out of work for over a year. People want to know what's the gap on thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no need
Mhm.
to tell them I was, laid off with intentions on being called back, which they did last year. They did call me back.
Mhm.
In April, I was supposed to go to Texas to train. That never, in May, it never took place. They called me one more time and that was it. I ain't heard from them since. I've emailed them twice. They didn't even respond to my email. I don't even know if the same people are still there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
obviously it ain't for me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But how important is it to maintain that LinkedIn page?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, and it's not a catch-all answer. It is dependent on your role and your industry. So, I actually do an audit when I'm consulting first time with clients, potential clients. Which, if you ever want to book a call with me, that job stickers will take you there too. But essentially, I will let them know right then and there, hey, you're a type of person that should be on LinkedIn. And then it's like, okay, well, if you're supposed to be on LinkedIn, how much interaction should you do? How much branding should you do? And what's that cadence look like? So that stuff comes a part of my coaching package. But for an answer today, I will say, like, okay, if you find that you're in some sort of business, technology, things that recruiters are going to be hanging out at, trying to find people.
Uh-huh.
If you're a part of that umbrella, it's advantageous to be on there. And how much you do on LinkedIn will dictate how your visibility is. So the more you share or comment or like or play with features, the quicker you're going to show up when a recruiter types in production supervisor and you want to be found as a production supervisor. You will show up faster than the other 5 people who haven't been doing much on LinkedIn. So that's the first part, is you got to play the little bit of game of trying to get your visibility boosted up so you're getting hired somewhere. How you fill out your profile is just as important. So nowadays they have these little auto-populating features. They used to not do that, and now they click the auto-populating. Don't just fill it in. Click whatever is coming up as a suggestion, because now it's interfaced with LinkedIn Recruiter, which is a software that recruiters use, and it filters results based off of some of this stuff now. So it's getting easier for recruiters to use LinkedIn to find people. So now as candidates, we got to play the game and be found, right? So if you are someone who is in construction and you are like my brother-in-law, construction manager, he's on LinkedIn. He don't use it because he knows the
Right.
work, and he's 6 months here. This guy's got a
Mhm.
job for 2 years. Now I'm going to go over here So I said, you don't really need LinkedIn, Scott.
And
Now,
they're not those type of people that's using LinkedIn.
using
I
LinkedIn,
mean, they're in dirty work. You know what I'm saying?
you know what I mean?
They're in
And
heavy and dirty work. You know what I'm saying? It's like those men like just walk in the gate and apply in the
you know
trailer.
what I mean? Exactly. And it's who you know. They're always just ask their friends. They're not going to look at
Totally is who
resumes.
you know because I worked with McHugh. So it's definitely,
Yes.
I got into McHugh. So, and it's not on my resume, but I did work for McHugh at
Yeah.
one time. But that was so long ago, I just didn't see the need to put it on. It was just office work, but I didn't see the need to put it on my resume. You know,
Sure.
because it's been so long ago. I mean, it's been like over 20 years ago. So that's just something I just ain't putting on there
No.
because
Yeah.
that's
Not
a
anymore.
waste of my time and energy. I mean, if you think about it, everything that I did in that office, I did as an operations manager.
Yep.
And that was one of my most recent positions as an operations manager. So
We could pull some of that.
right, I pulled all of that. Actually, everything I did in that office for McHugh, I did it in the office for North Lawndale Employment Network as an operations manager for Sweet Beginnings. So yeah.
Yeah.
Got a quick question, and
Yes.
then I'm closing out. April Collier said, "What are your fees for resume building, or should she reach out to you directly through the email?"
You can reach out. I'm very transparent with my pricing. So if you
Okay.
go to job stickers, one of the things says, look at our packages. You can click that. It'll take you right to my landing page of packages. So, but it's $1,000. I mean, it's resume, cover letter, LinkedIn's 1,000. And then if you want coaching, it goes up to $3,500. But the $3,500 is, we do it together. We meet once a week. You have homework, I have homework, and I flesh out a calendar for 6 weeks, each day, micro chunks of stuff for you to do. And it's my way of hands-on controlling the job hunt with you. And so it's robust, and it's not rigorous in the sense that, hey, if I'm working, how can I do this? It's made for working professionals, but it puts you through the ringer. And that's the one I always like to try to get people to do, because we can do interview training, we do branding, resume, cover letter, LinkedIn, and then the actual job hunting part. Because people usually come to me for the resume, and I say, that's, again, this, just like job boards, it's this percent, but to get here, we got to do some of this other stuff. And that's the stuff that's uncomfortable or not known to Joe Public, right? So that's why you kind of hang with us coaches that are nerds about going and finding cool avenues of getting work. I mean, I stay on top of the AI stuff.
Right.
I use some ChatGPT, not so much for writing, but for researching. So, and just let you guys know right now, ChatGPT is totally fine for cover letters. I don't mind them for cover letters. I play around with it, but on resumes, it's got a way to go. Resumes are supposed to be personal. And so when I
Got a way to go.
you know what I mean? When I see
Right.
canned responses, I go, oh, this must have been. I mean, I used to write canned responses for Live Career when I used to work for them 10 years ago. And they were in the forefront at one point for resume writing in the country.
Yeah, I remember hearing about them.
Live Career, and they turned to
Yeah.
bold, but they hired me as one of their minions to go around and put canned statements together. And here's 50 canned statements. Oh, geez. Here's ending with the bang. Here's 50 canned statements for electrical engineer. It's like, well,
Wow.
and anyone, right? Because they wanted it to be one of those ones where people go to the website and they just pick electrical engineer, and then everything filters in for them.
Mhm.
But the problem is with that, hiring managers and recruiters are savvy enough to go, okay, well, this is just job description stuff, right? What did you do as electrical engineer that makes you different from Bill, Scott, and Jenna behind you? And so that's where you use people like me to essentially figure out how are you going to stand out from all the people who are doing this canned stock stuff. Now, if you're an early career out of high school or college, you don't have much, ChatGPT is probably fine because they're not expecting you to have these credentials. But if you're, 5 years plus in, they want to see what you've done. And now the thing is, people don't realize that we are on the cusp of being essentially dating out resumes and going completely personal branding. Now, I'm hoping it won't be when I'm still doing this in 20 years before I retire, because I want a job and I don't want to lose my business. But I still see resume writing being almost second to, like you mentioned earlier. I'm a recruiter. I got to find someone. I'm going to go to LinkedIn first before I even look at a resume. After LinkedIn, I'm going to go check them out on Facebook and TikTok and make sure that they're not nuts before I even look at a resume and hand it over to the hiring manager, right? So they want to essentially, if they can get on LinkedIn and get your kind of what you are as a professional, I don't even know if they're ever going to want to see a Word document again down the road. I just think everything's so social media heavy that the branding is going to take over. And that's how your branding is how you're going to get hired.
Oh, yeah.
on
I
this
was
one.
just telling a friend of mine yesterday. It's funny you said that your branding thing is going to take over. I was just telling a friend of mine yesterday who's quite known. I said, you need to link up to LinkedIn
Mhm.
for your show because, well, that's for business people. You a person in business,
Yeah.
regardless if it's the entertainment business. There's entertainers on there as well. You're a
Yes.
person in business.
Yep. They LinkedIn and TikTok are still the two that have one of the best
Yep.
organic algorithms favored. So you don't have to
Yep.
worry about the ads as much as
Yeah.
like,
Thank God.
YouTube and stuff. So yeah, you can actually have a lot of viral success on LinkedIn without even knowing it. And purely because it still has some fairness there. You don't have to have too big of a pocket, your pocket strings. But I will say I'll end with anyone on the call that has tuned in. Thank you for your time, and please email me, and I'd be glad to give a free audit. If you want to email me your resume or LinkedIn profile, I'll give you some free feedback just for being here.
Oh
Um,
wow! Thanks,
yeah,
Matt.
yeah, and then hopefully I can help if
April,
anybody's out there.
April, get on top of it, girl. Go ahead and take a screenshot of that, okay? You can't beat that. That's a girl. Bye. Look, I got one last question. April said, "How do employers implement AI in regards to researching a person's resume experience?"
Yeah,
Because
so
you know how you send all these companies now. You sending your resume, and it's going through a centralized data bank.
yes, applicant
Which
tracking systems.
AI is set up to pull specific resumes and put
Mhm.
them in the email of the hiring manager.
Yeah, good, great question. Because I know we were going to tackle this. I'll say first, don't fear the applicant tracking systems. They're when I started off, yes, these things were not as sophisticated. They were essentially a bank of resumes of candidates that applied overnight. And back then, even applying overnight wasn't the swarms that it is now because some people weren't really savvy with a lot of the internet job hunting then as much. So yeah, maybe you have a few hundred or something in the week. It's not like it's a few thousand like probably today, but so let's just say 50 people apply overnight. I go in there, I'd look through all 50 resumes, call people I like, and if I want to go find them again, I type the word electrical engineer, and here comes 10 people. There's the guy I called. It was that. I mean, it wasn't much. Now, there are rules. Some of them are meant to be gatekeepers because if I'm Google, I don't need 15,000 resumes in an hour. Depending on the company, here's the problem. We don't know. We don't know what company is using what software. It has what rules implemented,
Yep.
has how much parameters in place. Some people probably have zero rules where, hey, you could send a cardboard box in as a resume and you get through the robots because they
I
don't,
appreciate you saying
you know.
we don't know because you know what? While you were talking, I said I can't still wait to hear the answer because it's no answer.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to us, April, realistically, as before we get out of here and I'm finna shut down, we don't know how companies are using AI to research a person's resume that's putting it in on that's landing it on the if not the desk but the desktop of their
Mhm.
computers for that particular position or positions that they're pulling and hiring for. The
Yes.
thing is that um because they have a way of setting their own uh dynamics of whatever it is they want. They have their own way of setting their verbiage like, oh,
Mhm.
this is what we want. Keywords, they have their own keywords that they put
Yep.
in, but they're like computerized keywords, something that a computer will think of, not a mind, not a human. And that's why I really am not fond of it. I'm loving it, the technology, but I'm not fond of the fact that they're trying to take over humanism with AI because AI doesn't have a heart or
Mm-mm.
soul.
Right.
AI doesn't have a heart, soul, or a brain.
Right.
So there's no empathy, sympathy, or feeling of care and concern or love coming from a damn
A
robot.
robot. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna
Exactly.
keep it real. It's a damn robot. And
Uh-huh.
it took a human to program the damn robot. So what they trying to do is get rid of humans with these robots. Then who gonna program the robot when the human's gone?
Yeah. Right. There you go.
See,
Mic drop. Yeah.
bam,
I
right.
I'll say for a takeaway, April, less is more. So if you're doing a resume, My templates they have visual aesthetics in place that are pleasing, but they're not the focal point. They are very much just there to, again, so it doesn't look like it was made, and on the fly. But my focus is on the content. Content's still king, and you will get through if you're a viable candidate for the role, depending on how you set your messaging up. So if you're looking at this job description for XYZ company and you really like them, it's up to you if you're going to take 10 minutes to go and tailor a little bit of your resume or not before you send it over. I always say this, every job should be the one you want, right? Because we shouldn't be spraying and praying. We should be very much mindful of, I'm going to work for this company and I'm going to reverse engineer myself into that company.
Yep.
And how am I going to do that? Well, I'm not going to wait on the job board, because honestly, people don't realize this, job boards half the time aren't even listing what the openings are half the time. Most of the time, when it gets to the job board, it's already been through this 3-prong internal promotions, internal favoritism, who has someone they know.
Right.
And then
the position is closed. By the time you apply for it through the job board, they'll come back saying, the position you're looking for is no longer active.
It is. It's so, and then they most likely probably try to do their staffing team, probably try to in-house find someone before they have to go and broadcast it. Because when you broadcast it, now you're spending money on Indeed and having to post, and now you're risking your recruiter's time away from pipeline stacking or vetting to go and sift through these things for this one requisition when she's got 30 other jobs she's got to fill.
Go straight to the source. Go straight to the company and see what they have, because sometimes these job boards also, they're just to get your information because they sell your information and they make money off of emails.
Oh, yeah, that
and
too.
everything.
Yep.
So a lot of them are created just to make money off of you and not help you. And a lot of them know that a lot of the I ain't found one job on any of these like jobhunt.com and all this kind of crap. I ain't found one job on none of them damn job boards that anybody replied to me back. I had one person replied to me back from one of the job boards, and she was on such bullshit.
Yeah.
Honestly, the lady tried to get me. She wanted me to send my name and address and phone number and birth date and all that. And I said, well, your address, your email ain't even professional.
Yeah, there you go. That's another thing. Yep. How you present yourself. It all is diagnosed and looked at by these people that are hiring.
So, yeah. And I'm like, and the career builders, I had to call career builders on one of the companies because I said, you guys don't vet the people that you put in on your site as job hunters, as people, as those who are employers.
Yeah.
You don't vet them because you got people on your website that's bullshit. And it was the woman who had sent me a text message to my phone, not an email, a text message to my phone. And
to drive you nuts.
I'm like, I guess she thought, well, maybe I'm going to keep trying at it until I find one fool. I was like, lady, I do have a resume showing a lot of experience. I'm far removed from being a complete zap fool.
Yeah.
Enough to fall for this. This ain't a job. This is bull. You trying to get information, steal somebody's identity or whatever the case it is. Right. But God bless you.
Oh, yeah.
And Leslie said, thanks for keeping it real, Matt.
Oh, hey, thank you. That's the only way to do it. Is the livelihood. Your livelihood's important, and a lot of stress can be caused from this part of you, this little portion of you, but it's not, it's not the end all be all. It's still a job when it comes down to it. But we want to find something that's fulfilling and makes us happy and crosses off our little check boxes. So you just got to work hard at finding that happiness and to do that, you just got to start, get a little plan together, right? So hit me up if I can help.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Once again, everybody, Matt Warzel, MJW Careers, LLC. Warzel at MJWcareers.com or go to jobstickers.com. Probably best to go to jobstickers.com. April said correct. She said right. CB is a joke talking about career builders. Career builders has been a joke for a lot of years. I don't even know how they still in business.
They're still around. Yeah,
I really don't know how they still in business. They've been a joke for years.
I agree, man. You can get your job at Affleck on other avenues. You don't got to go to Career Builder.
Right. Okay. Matt, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. And I'm going to see if if this password I just found is my password, and I'm gonna send it to you so you can
work
do it.
on it. I'll be in the email today.
Right.
Bye, Nyla. Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye, Matt. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So everybody, that is Matt Warzel's information. Oh my God. I can't get over the fact that Lanita graced me with such a gift. That $1,000 gift. I knew it was expensive because he does the whole thing. He sends you questions you have to answer. All this to prepare so he'll know how to really prepare your old resume and build it into this new thing, that especially if you're doing a career change. And so really I ain't do a career change. I've just done numerous things. And so I'm not in a position to retire, nowhere near it. But look, not with work, that is, what I'm saying, not with what, like from work and 401 or whatever like that. No, I'm not in a position to retire. So I'm just getting started, okay? So if you know my story, you know my pain right now. But I got a purpose, baby. My purpose is gonna flush out that pain, baby, because it's here, baby. It is here right now. This is my year. I am woke. I am wide awake. Thank you, Jesus. And so, hey, blue lady, hey, Rochelle, and April, I want to say thank you so much for those questions, and because, hey, Tracy, because those questions were amazing. And that was really good questioning about the AI, because to get to the nuts and bolts and the truth about AI, there's no way that you can avoid it when you apply to these jobs. It's just the fact that the companies, I probably wouldn't go through the job boards like he said. Use the job boards to see what they're presenting, but don't click their links. I wouldn't even really sign up for these job boards, to be honest with you, because all they're doing is selling your email. As soon as you sign up for one, you start seeing 10 or 20 different emails from different people in your email account. Stuff you be like, where the hell this come from? Right after you sign up for jobsearch.com or whatever them other job boards is, it's a bunch of them. That's why I know it's a lot of tyranny and all that crap going through with these job boards. It could be one person that owns multiple job boards getting numerous emails and selling all of that stuff and making money off of you and talking about they sending you some jobs. They ain't sending you jobs. They pulling stuff from the newspaper or whatever. You might as well go and pull it from the companies themselves or get the information out. Go to LinkedIn. This is what I'm gonna say. If you're not a professional and all you've done is just a cashier, they still got stuff on LinkedIn for that. Go to LinkedIn. You'd be surprised. Corner Bakery or something got on there looking for cashiers. You'd be surprised because I've seen it on there. So I would highly recommend that you guys use LinkedIn. As you heard, Matt, he's one of the top 300. They only have 300 people, top providers that they go to for certain things, because he's constantly posting, constantly keeping up and offering up information on such and keeping it relevant and in the here and now. It's very relevant and very present information that he's given us. And so AI, these companies, once they get these platforms built into their systems, their computer systems and all at work, at their businesses, they select their own keywords and everything. And so therefore you just don't know. But to God be the glory, everybody. I have got to get out of here. To God be the glory. Listen, reach back and give back. Somebody out there needs your smile. Somebody needs to hear some kind words from you. Somebody might need a bag of chips, a bottle of water, or just an ear to hear, or a prayer. Whatever the case may be, if the Spirit has placed it upon your heart so heavily, please, by all means, do something. Work with the Spirit. The Spirit is using you as a resource. A point of source and resource for who they're trying to help. And if they're using you, that means they recognize you as a source. And that's a beautiful thing, to be recognized as a source, to help allow to assist the spirit to help other people. So that's a beautiful thing. Another thing, God loves you. God loves me. God loves everybody under the tree. And with a big back patty whack, give your God some praise. Because God has kept us going all of these days. Boop. And in that order, y'all already know God is the main source, baby. Don't get it twisted. Another thing, love, peace, soul, and hair grease. If your scalp is itching, please wash your head like I just did before you condition. That's all I got to say. And in the meantime, and in between time, to God be the glory. Lord Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. To God be the glory. Amen. 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 Everybody, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Join us tomorrow. We got an interesting guest on tomorrow. Hey, you got some information about job search. Now you heard that. He's only doing that today. He's only doing that for people who watch the show. So when you send it out to him, let him know, oh, here's the review of my resume and what the good and the bad about it. And I heard about it on In My Element talk show. So he'll know where it's coming from, because I don't know if he does that for everybody. Okay, so I don't know. I was grateful to have when he offered it. I was shocked. We hadn't communicated that. So that was a blessing. So use it. Use it to your advantage, people. Get with him, get that resume reviewed. He's gonna give you some feedback on your resume, and I think even your LinkedIn. So get it reviewed. To God be the glory. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here on What in My Element with who? Blase Skippy. Bam! See you then. Peace. Bye-bye.